So students, in our last class, under chapter plant growth and development, we were learning about plant growth regulators or plant hormones, also called as phytohormones. So we have discussed in last class what kind of plant growth regulators are there, what is their name, and discovery of all these plant growth regulators. Today we are going to learn plant hormones one by one, or plant growth regulators one by one. So first plant growth regulator is auxin. Auxin, it comes from Greek word auxin, meaning to grow, which helps plant to grow. That's why its name is auxin. Auxin is not an English word, it is Greek word, because it came from Greek word auxin. Okay, the meaning of auxin word in Greek is to grow in English. It helps plant to grow. That's why it is called auxin. Okay, so in the market, what all chemicals are called auxins? Like I told you in last class. In market, it is called vinegar. Some chemical is there called vinegar, which is used for Chinese food and all, no? Vinegar. But chemically its name is acetic acid. So market name is different, chemical name is different. Like that, auxin is a Greek word. What all chemical, like if you go to market and ask give me auxin, they don't understand. So which type of chemical you should ask them? Indirectly I am telling you what all chemicals are auxins. Okay, first one is IAA, in short, indole acetic acid. Indole acetic acid, and these hormones are naturally produced. Indole acetic acid. Then IBA, indole butyric acid. In the last class we have learned that what type of chemicals they are. Auxins are indole compounds, no? Indole butyric acid, in short IBA, indole I, butyric B, A acid, like that, indole acetic acid, IAA. So these two are naturally produced, natural auxins, meaning plant only produces these hormones naturally. We don't have to spray it. Okay, we don't have to bring it from market. Plant naturally produces these two growth hormones. Then some are available in the market. They are synthetic. Which are those? Synthetic means, the meaning of synthetic meaning not produced by the plant but available in the market, artificial auxins, like NAA, naphthalene acetic acid. Naphthalene acetic acid. Okay, plant doesn't produce this. These are available in the market, artificial, synthetic. Then 2,4-D, short form. Full form is 2,4-dichlorophenoxy acetic acid. Dichlorophenoxy acetic acid. In short, 2,4-dichloro-D. No, first letter is D, so it is called 2,4-D. These two, NAA and 2,4-D, are not produced by the plant, but it is available in the market. These are artificial auxins. So all these four chemicals are called auxins only. Auxin is a broad term used. So whether it is IAA is also auxin, IBA is also auxin, NAA is also auxin, 2,4-D is also auxin. But first two, IAA, IBA, are naturally produced by plant. NAA and 2,4-D is not produced by the plant but available in the market. Okay, so next what we are going to learn is naturally produced, okay, synthetically produced, where farmers use in agricultural and horticultural practices to make any plant grow very fast. Okay, in horticulture and agriculture, they use plants and crops to grow. Okay, so they use in agriculture and horticultural practices. I think you know what is agriculture and horticulture differences. Agriculture means growing any crop plants in the field. Gadde elli ಬೆಳೆಯೋದು. Horticultural is commercial plant, they grow in the garden plants. If you grow plants in garden, then it is called horticulture. If you grow it in the field, then it is called agriculture field, then it is called agriculture. You know, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಕೃಷಿ ವ್ಯವಸಾಯ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ತೋಟಗಾರಿಕೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. Okay, different meaning. Agricultural department is different, horticultural department is different, government office I am talking about. Okay, next what we are going to learn is functions of auxins in plants. Function means if auxins are produced by plants, how it helps plant to grow, what work it does in the plant, that we have to see. So it is under heading physiological effects of auxin on the plant. Physiological effect means how this hormone helps plant to grow, or how it helps plant physiology. Physiology means what all processes happens in the plant, like photosynthesis, respiration in plants, then minerals taken, then transport of water and food through xylem and phloem. All these are, and plant growth and development, all these are physiology. How this hormone helps plant to grow, we will see now. So it is under heading functions of auxin or physiological effects of auxin on the plant. Okay, physiological effects of auxin on the plant. That means how it helps plant to grow. In other words, for your easy understanding, we can write functions of auxin or work of auxin, how it helps plant. Number one, first point is it helps for flowering, for initiation of flowering. If plant naturally produce flowers, okay. Otherwise, if plant doesn't produce flowers, then artificial auxins you should spray on the plant so that it starts producing flower. That meaning is, if any plant produces flowers, what is the reason for producing flower? What is responsible for that? Auxins. If any plant is producing flower, you should come to conclusion that plant has produced auxin. That is why it has produced flowers. Otherwise, flowers doesn't produce. So initiation of flowering is because of auxin. Especially it promotes flowering. You can take example in pineapples especially. In pineapples, flowering is produced by auxins. Not only in pineapples, they just gave an example. Otherwise, all the plants produce flowers. I mean, those plants which produces flowers are called angiosperms, you know, they are flowering plants. Okay, all the flowering plants produce flowers, and if any flowering plant produces flower, like for example in your garden, hibiscus flower is produced, then the plant has produced auxin. That is why flower is produced. Okay, then it is also helpful for root and shoot initiation. Initiation means starts producing. Okay, root and shoot initiation, meaning if a plant produces roots, new roots, and shoot means above the soil surface, like suppose this is a soil surface, okay, and these are roots, fibrous root I am talking about, monocot roots, and this is a soil surface. Then here stem is produced, then it produces branches, leaves, all that. This part is shoot, and underground part is root. So if any plant produces roots and shoots, upper part, that is stem, leaves, branches, all that, shoot, it is because of auxins. Otherwise root and shoot doesn't grow. Okay, naturally plant produces auxins, that is why it produces roots and shoots. If naturally they don't produce, then artificially you have to spray auxins, then it starts producing root and shoot. So students, we were learning about physiological effects of auxin. Next point, I was just telling, it is helpful for root and shoot initiation, that is, especially this is helpful for vegetative propagation in plants. For example, I think you have learnt in 10th standard vegetative propagation, vegetative reproduction you have learnt. There are two methods there. First one is natural vegetative propagation. It is by vegetative propagation by leaf, by root, by stem. Then artificial is there, that is by cutting, grafting, layering, cutting method I am talking about. So for example, sugarcane, okay, sugarcane long stem is there, it is cut into many pieces. Like we will take example, like this is, suppose sugarcane, very long stem is there, it is cut into many pieces, like very small pieces like this much. Okay, then what you should do, you should spray auxin on this stem, and this is a soil surface. Half of this should be in the soil and half should be exposed to air. This is soil, underground. Half stem should be in the soil, half should be exposed to air. This half stem will develop roots, and this upper surface will develop shoots, produces leaves. Okay, this is how it helps for plant to grow. Naturally it will happen, but if it doesn't happen, then farmer has to spray auxins. Next, and third point, what auxin helps plant to grow is what is that? Early, it prevents early fall of fruits and leaves. Early fall means when it is young leaf only, young leaf, ಅಂದರೆ ಸಣ್ಣ ಎಲೆ ಇರುವಾಗಲೇ ಬಿದ್ದರೆ, ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬಿದ್ದರೆ ಎಲೆ, it is not a growth, it is inhibition of growth stopped, no? When it is young, I mean unripened fruit, ಅಂದರೆ ಕಾಯಿ ಆಗಿರುವಾಗ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬೀಳಬಾರ್ದು. I think you have seen in arecanut plantation especially, when it is green and small, it should not fall off, no? Then it is lost to the farmer. Then arecanut green color, it will grow and becomes orange color, then it should fall. Then it is fully, ripened. No, fruit, when it is raw fruit, it should not fall. So falling of young leaves and raw fruits will be prevented, means stops, so that it helps plant to grow. So raw fruit will grow and become ripened fruit. Okay, unless it becomes ripened, it doesn't fall. Okay, like you see that raw mango, ಅಂದರೆ ಮಾವಿನ ಕಾಯಿ ಬೀಳುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಮಾವಿನ ಹಣ್ಣು ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬೀಳ್ತದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ plant by preventing early fall of leaves and fruits, but it promotes abscission of older leaves. What is meaning of abscission? Abscission means any plant part falls from the plant, that is called abscission. Separation of plant parts from the plant. The meaning is, ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಏನಂದರೆ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟಿಂದೆಲ್ಲ ಎಲೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಉದುರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. when leaf becomes old, it has to fall. And we notice that some dry leaves and all we find near the trees, and it is old leaves. ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲೆ ತುಂಬ ಬೆಳೆದಿದೆ, ತುಂಬ ಮೆಚೂರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅದರ ಕೆಲಸ ಮುಗಿದಿದೆ, ಆಯುಷ್ಯ ಮುಗಿದಿದೆ, ಬಿತ್ತೋದು ಕೆಳಗೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಪ್ರಮೋಟ್ಸ್ abscission of older leaves, but it doesn't allow early fall of fruits and leaves, so that it helps plant to grow. Then next, auxin promotes or it causes apical dominance. Apical dominance. Meaning of apical dominance is, see, plant, suppose this is a stem, okay, stem, and on the top, at the tip of the plant, tip of the stem, topmost part of the stem, it produces a bud, flower bud. It is called apical bud, apical bud. And wherever the branches are there, it produces at the axil of, axil means joining point of two main stem and branches, there that is called axil. There it produces flower bud called axillary bud. Now, apical dominance means apical bud will grow, but it doesn't allow axillary bud to grow. That is dominance. Dominance means apical bud dominates axillary bud. Okay, so meaning apical bud doesn't help or doesn't allow axillary bud to grow. Only apical bud will grow. Because of that, what happens? Only height increases. Only height increases in the plant, but branches are not produced, or flowers are not produced on the sides. Okay, so apical bud grows, but it doesn't allow axillary bud to grow. So branches doesn't grow, only it increases height. This is one kind of growth, but it is one kind of negative factor also, because plant is increasing in height, but plant is not producing branches on the sides. So what to do? For avoiding this apical dominance, what farmer does, he will cut the apical bud. With the scissor, he will cut apical bud. When you cut apical bud here, then axillary bud will start growing. It produces branches. This is helpful in hedge making, in tea and coffee plantations. Tea and coffee plantations. Hedge making means what, in tea and coffee plantations, we notice that tea plants, coffee plants and all doesn't grow taller. It grows like a bushes, short, but it grows like a bushes. Tea, coffee plantation, I think you have seen. It will be in one level only, and it looks very beautiful. And they cut the tip of that upper part of the plant. Why they cut? Because if apical bud is there, it doesn't allow lateral bud to grow. So branches doesn't grow. It doesn't grow like a bush. So what they do, with a scissor, they'll cut this apical bud, then only axillary bud grows. So to avoid apical dominance, what they do? They cut the tip, cut the apical bud. If apical bud is cut, then lateral bud will grow. Okay, so like apical bud is dominating. If apical bud is removed, then axillary bud will dominate. Okay, if apical bud is there, axillary bud cannot dominate. So what does that apical dominance? That is auxin. Okay, next, no space here, I'll write here. Okay, I'll write here. Fifth point, auxin causes parthenocarpy, or you can also say parthenogenesis. Okay, actually it causes parthenocarpy. Parthenocarp meaning production of seedless fruits. We get seedless grapes and all in the market. Okay, Parthenocarp. The meaning is production of seedless fruits. Why seeds are not produced? You know, you have learnt about seeds, no? In the morphology of flowering plants. How seeds are produced? Seeds are produced after fertilization. You know, double fertilization, triple fusion, you remember? I didn't teach you. Some other lecturers have taught you, but you know this. Seeds are product of fertilization. Seeds are produced how? Double fertilization, triple fusion, if you remember. Like pollen tube grows, this is a ovule, you know, ovule. And embryo sac is there inside, egg is there here, 2 synergids, polar nuclei, 3 antipodal cells. Pollen tube grows and enters micropyle and meets the egg. No, like after fertilization only seed is produced. But Parthenocarp is what you know? Production of seeds without fertilization. No fertilization here. Directly fruit is produced. Fruit is produced because ovary becomes fruit. Ovule becomes seed. That is a process actually, you know. So this is stigma, style, ovary, you know, if you remember. So here inside the ovary there will be ovules. These are the ovules. And this is ovary. What happens? This entire ovary becomes a fruit. And ovules become seed. So here what happens? No fertilization, no entry of pollen tube, no double fertilization, triple fusion. So fruit is produced because ovary becomes fruit, but ovule doesn't become a seed. So that is why seedless fruit is produced. Okay, so especially farmers growing grapes and all, these are helpful because in the market we get seedless grapes also. How they are produced? They are produced by spraying auxins. If you spray auxin on these plants, then it doesn't undergo fertilization and doesn't produce seeds. But fruit is produced. Fruit without seeds. You imagine watermelon. In watermelon, what is the problem? That black color seeds. No, while eating, we have to remove all that seeds. We have to pick and remove. So many seeds will be there. Then only we can eat watermelon. No, like that. While making juice also, they have to remove all that black color seeds. Many will be there. Okay, so what if watermelon is produced without seeds? Then it is easy, just cut and remove, make juice, pulp. No? So production of seedless fruits, that is called Parthenocarp, is because of auxin. Auxin causes Parthenocarp. Okay, next, 6th point is 2,4-D. Do you remember? This is one of the auxin, name of the auxin. 2,4-D stands for 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid. It is a weedicide. Weedicide. The word CIDE, side means to kill. Weedicide means which kills weeds. Weed means, you know, unwanted plant. Now Kannadadalli kale anta helteve. Means along with arecanut plantation, some small plants grow. They are unwanted plants. Like here, communist plant is there, Parthenium plant, you know, Congress plant and all they say. They are all useless plants. I mean, farmer doesn't want to grow such plants. If unwanted plants are growing, what is the problem? Whatever fertilizer you give, unwanted plant also will take it. So that what plant actually you are growing doesn't get minerals. Like arecanut coconut you are growing, then you have given fertilizer for arecanut coconut, but these unwanted plants growing in between will take that fertilizer. So 2,4-D is a weedicide. It kills unwanted plants. But which unwanted plant it kills? It kills only, eliminates only dicot plants. Dicot weeds means it doesn't kill monocot weeds. That is why gardeners especially, gardeners use this 2,4-D for maintaining lawn grass. Lawn grass means, in front of our college you see that mat like lawn is there, lawn grass. Beautiful. For decoration we use greenish grass, Okay, we cut that and maintain same level. Lawn grass is monocot. Grass is monocot. So in between grass, if some plants wants to grow, okay, that can be removed by spraying 2,4-D. If you spray 2,4-D, only dicot plant will die. Monocot plant doesn't die. This is helpful for farmers, because if a farmer is growing any monocot plant in the field, but some unwanted dicot weeds are growing, then he doesn't have to pick and spray like only to the plant. Randomly he can spray, so that it will kill only dicot plants, but monocot plants nothing happens, because farmer is growing monocot crops there. So nothing happens to monocots. Okay. So 2,4-D has benefit like this. Then Auxin also helps for xylem differentiation and also helps in cell division. Auxin also helps in cell differentiation. Already you know what is the meaning of differentiation. Differentiation means other than cell division, cell takes one new function. Okay, that is called differentiation. For example, meristematic cells, what is their function? Meristematic cell function is only division. One cell becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16, like that cell continuously divides. Only one work, divide, divide, divide. No other work. If cells lose the function to divide and become parenchyma cell, okay, the parenchyma has function. What is that? Storage of water, giving flexibility to plant parts. Okay, it's a living cell, so it is helpful for transport of water. So other than cell division, they have taken one new function, then it is called differentiation. So xylem differentiation, not cell differentiation, it is helpful for differentiation of xylem, xylem differentiation. Meaning xylem has 4 different type of cells, already we have learned this. What are the 4 different types of xylem cells? Xylem fibers, xylem vessels, xylem parenchyma, xylem tracheids. No? One cell becomes other cell. You know that the xylem parenchyma is living cell. Xylem tracheid, xylem fibers are dead cells, no? Not tracheid, sorry. Tracheid and fibers are dead cells. So first xylem parenchyma is produced, then it changes to next type of xylem cell. That means for xylem differentiation, xylem to take function of transport of water, this is helpful. Auxin is helpful. Okay, next it is helpful for cell division also. Helps cell division. If cell division should happen, then only number of cells will increase. That is a type of growth. No, increase in number of cells is type of growth. Even in our body also, if number of cells increase, that is type of growth only. Okay, so if cell division is happening, that means we say that plant is growing. Okay, so cell division also helps plant to grow. So this is how Auxin helps plant to grow. Okay, so these are the physiological effects of Auxin on the plant, or functions of Auxin on the plant. This is what exactly Auxin does to the plant. Okay, how Auxin helps plant to grow. Okay, so in next class we are going to learn about gibberellic acid, cytokinins, then ethylene and abscisic acid. Then this chapter finishes, syllabus also finishes. First year syllabus also finishes. Okay, so keep watching my classes. In next class we will learn about gibberellic acid. Okay, thank you.